Welcome back to Data Science with Python. Session we will discuss about Python lists.
By now, playground is on which side represent the and the int. Next, we also have str, short for string, to represent text in Python, and bool, which can be either true or false. A variable, like these examples show. Each variable then represents a single value. You'll often want to work with many data points. If you, for example, want to measure the height of everybody in your family and store this information in Python, it would be inconvenient to create a new Python variable for each point you collected, right? What you can do instead is store all this information in a Python list. You can build such a list with square brackets. Suppose you ask your two sisters and parents for their height in meters. You can build a list as follows. Of course, also this data structure can be referenced to with a variable. Simply put the variable name and equal sign in front, like here. A list is a way to give a single name to a collection of values. These values or elements can have any type. It can be floats, integer, booleans, strings, but also more advanced Python types, even lists. It's perfectly possible for a list to contain different types as well. Suppose, for example, that you want to add the names of your sisters and parents to the list so that you know which height belongs to who. You can throw in some strings without issues. That's not all. I just told you that lists can also contain lists themselves. In between the numbers, you can create little sublists for each member of the family. One for Emma, and so on. Now, we can tell Python that these sublists are the elements of another list that I named fam2. The little lists are wrapped in square brackets and separated with commas. If we now print out fam2, you see that we have a list of lists. The main list contains 4 sublists. Next to the strings, booleans, and integers and floats, you already know. These calls show that both fam and fam2 are lists. That each type has specific functionality and behavior associated. This is also true. Python lists boast a bunch of tools to subset and adapt them. Have you experiment with list creation first?
Hope that makes sense to you. Simple terms, what is a Python list? If you are coming from a Java or C programming background, you can compare list with a array. So where you can store multiple values. But here, it is not like only one data type, but you can store multiple values of different data types. Whereas in Java or C programming language, when you declare array, that time you mention what type of array it is going to be, like integer or character. So you need to define that in the first step itself. There is no limitation such like that. Let's move on, and then the Python list. And I'm just moving on to this exercise section over here. We areas list. So it's simple, just like any other identifier. Just type the name and okay. So it is a list of all these areas. So let's call it. We're trying to save everything. Bed and then the bathroom. List brackets. Okay. and let's print out the list. Just like any other variable, we can do that. So when you submit the button, see here. So basically in this list, we mentioned the variable name over here instead of the actual value. But even though we are getting the actual values over here. Okay, so that makes sense, I guess. Move on and then do what else. Create a list with different types. As I was saying earlier, in a list we can store multiple values of different data types. Okay, so if you see here, areas list, so they have this hall, kit, living room as a string, bathroom, and then bath. So except hall, everything else is a floating point over here. And apart from that, even we are able to store strings also. Okay, let's print this value is as they mentioned over here, print areas. Okay, so before that, let's read the instructions over here. Finish the line of code that creates areas, such as that list first contains the name of each room as string. Okay, so they are asking us to add these strings before every area. So let's say some like hall. So before that, we need to add hallway, and before, so let's copy this and then paste it over here, double quotes, by, and then living room, live, they have it bed, so it's a bedroom, right? So let's copy, paste. Mm -hmm. Okay, so let's print out these values. So this is what the list we have created over here, string, and then the corresponding value of that area, kitchen, like example, hallway, the length of that hallway, you can say, kitchen value, and so on and so forth. Let's move on. Select the valid list. List can contains any Python type, but list itself also a Python type. Yeah, if you have noticed in the previous exercise, storing different data types into the list. So that means every element has a type. Python list is also a one type. You can list, I mean, multiple list in a list. We see in Java like multi-dimensional arrays. We can have to a single list. Let's see here what they have. Can you tell which one of the following list are valid ways to build a list? Okay. If you see here, A is a valid one because it's a list of integers. Okay, and here, which is a list, which is, and the second element is on the list. This means this is also valid. And here, if you go here, what they're doing is in the list, they're trying to do over here. I don't think this is possible. When you are creating a list, you should be having a proper value in it, but not the operation, I guess. So let's what error we get over here. Oh, that means it is also possible. Okay, let's store in some variable. Okay, I guess it is taking some time. Yeah, see here. That means even in the list, we can have operations as well. So 1 plus 2 is 3 as a first element, and then the second element is a multiplied by 5. That means 5 a's and then the 3. So similarly, I stored that in this variable called L, and I'm trying to print out that. So that means all are valid list expressions in Python. So answer is A and B and C. Right. So let's move on. So list of lists. See, if you are trying to write a small script in those conditions or in those scenarios, you may not be, you may not need to have a list of list. But if you are dealing with a huge amount of data, definitely there might be many scenarios where you need to have list of lists. So now we'll see how it is done. Okay. So what they are suggesting is separating the previous list that we created in 2 exercises back. Okay. So first, lead the instruction number 1. Finish the list of list so that it also contains the bedroom and bathroom data. Make sure enter these in the order. Okay. So first of all, we need to add bedroom and bathroom data, right? So let's add bedroom, this bed. Sorry, I closed the list over here. Okay, close it here, and then the next element is what is that? Bathroom. Close it, and the value is bath. Okay, perfect. So that's all we have for now, and let's print out the house. Oops. Oh, this is comma here, and here another comma is required. See, separated by comma. And if you see here, this one is one list, right? This is another list. So all these are packed into one list called house. So this is a list of lists. Still, there is a problem. Is it? What is the mistake that we are to check second call of print, but hasn't found it? Okay, where is the second printout? Why? Print out the type of, okay, print out the type of house. Okay, so even they want type of house also. Type of house. That's it. See, in the second instructions, they asked us to print a house, and in the third point, it's a type of house, so which I missed out earlier. Okay, so now this is good. Let's move on. Continue. And there is one more important topic in Python list is a subsetting list. Let's listen to this video and try to understand. And after that, we will practice the subsetting of list.
After you've created your very own Python list, you might wonder how you can access information in this list. Have a look at the family list again here. The first element in the list has a mix 0, the second element has a mix 1, and so on. Suppose that you want to select the height of Emma, so the float 1.68. It's the fourth element, so it has a mix 3. Use 3 inside square brackets. Similarly, to select the string dad from the list, which is the seventh element, you'll need to put the index 6 inside square brackets. You can also count backwards, using negative indexes. This is useful if you want to get some elements at the end of your list. To get your dad's height, for example, you'll need the index -1. This is for all list elements. This means that this line, return the exact same result. Apart from indexing, there's also something called slicing, which allows you to select multiple elements from a list, thus creating a new list. In a range, using the code. Let's first have another look at the list, and then try this one. Piece of code. Can you guess what it will return? A list with the float 1.68, string mom, and float 1.71, corresponding to the fourth, fifth, and sixth element in the list view. Let's see what the output is. Apparently, only the elements with index 3 and 4 get returned. The element with index 5 is not included. In general, this is the syntax. The index you specify before the colon, so where the slice starts, is included, while the index you specify after the colon, where the slice ends, is not. With this in mind, can you tell what this call will return? You probably guessed correctly that this call gives you a list with 3 elements, corresponding to the elements with index 1, 2, and 3 of the family list. Just leave out the index before or after the colon. Where the slice should begin, we're telling Python to start the slice from index 0, like this example. If you leave out the index where the slice should end, you include all elements up to and including the last element in the list, like here. Now it's time to head over to the exercises, where you will continue to work on the list you've created yourself before. Subsetting methods to get exactly the piece of information you need.
I hope that makes sense to you. Like any other programming language, access any list of the elements or any element of the array, what we do is we use index values. So similarly, in Python list also, we use the index values to access any one of those elements. And on top of that, Python provides very good feature called slicing. So that means in one shot you can access a subset of the list. We will see how it is done, and before that let's do this exercise over here. Print out the second element from the areas list, so which is this one. So this is the areas list, right? So like any other list in any other programming language, the index starts with 0. So 0 1. So the second element is like printing out the right areas of 1. Okay, and print out the last element from areas. So there are two ways to print out the last element from any list in Python. One is counting the elements and then from 0 to the end, and then you can print it. Otherwise, you can use negative indexing, which is like -1. When you say -1, so the last element, -2 is this one, something like that. So this is the way of doing it. Print -1. Sorry, areas of -1. Print out the area of the living room. Okay, so area of living room, how to identify that? Where is the living room? Here it is, and this value, right? So we need to count it over here. So one is like 0 1 2 3 4 and 5. So this is the fifth value. Or if you want to use a negative indexing, you can do something like this: -1, -2, -3, -4, or -6. Okay, so I will use normal indexing over here, which is area of 5. Okay, so that's it. Subset and print out the last element of areas being, yeah, that can do. Yeah, that's it. So let's submit the answer here. What is the syntax error? Print areas. Okay, I did not close it. Oops. Line number 9. What is that? Pairing different areas of -1. No, I don't get that. What exactly? Okay, here I did not close this one also. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so as I said earlier, so 1, there's 1, and when it is like -1, the last element, which is 20. So if you want to try out that negative indexing here also, which we counted earlier, which is -6, that is also possible. Okay, let's close that and then submit the answer. So that means count is print. I think we did not call the correct one. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay, sorry, this is also -5, not -6. Okay, so we're reading the same value. So it can be 5 or -5. So we can use both the things. Continue. Subset and calculate. This is as usual in any other programming language. So we can access, we can do whatever operations we want to do on those elements. Okay, so let's read this one. Okay, so here we're creating a new variable, declaring a new variable, and assigning the sum of value of bedroom and then the kitchen areas. So what is the kitchen value is this one. So 0, 1, 2, 3 plus, and he said bedroom value this one. So -1, -2, -3. So areas of -3 I'm using. Use the regular indexing values starting from 0, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 7 also you can use it here. And finally we will print out that value, which is yes, okay. So let's submit. Cool. Okay, I hope it makes sense to you guys, and let's move on to the next topic, slicing and dicing. So slicing means, so we can pull out subset of any list using a slicing technique in Python list. Okay, so here basically we need to pass two values over here to a list, which is like starting and then the ending one. When you pass only one value, that means you are trying to access only that particular index value. But when you mention start and then the end, that means you are going to access from this start value to the end one. So start is inclusive and then this is not included. Okay, let's see that example over here. So what is this instructions they give us? Using slicing to create a list downstairs that contains the first six elements of area. Okay, so let's create a new list. Okay, so which is called downstairs, and which is first six elements. So that means starting from 0, oops, to 6 elements, colon 6. So that means it is starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 6 elements. No, not 6 also. Only till this fifth index value. Next, what is this? Using slicing to create upstates. Okay, so again, we'll do the similar thing to create new variable upstates that contains the last 4 elements of array. Okay, so it is like upstates equal to areas of. So here we can pass two values over here. So just like this regular indexing, or even we can use negative indexing also. But as of now, I will use normal one, which is like starting from 6 to the end. Okay, and if you don't know the count, we can just leave it. That means till the end, starting from the seventh element, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10, because we have only 4 elements, right? So this is how we can do it. Even here also, starting value, if you're if you are trying to pull from the first element of the list. But as of now, I will just give that 0 for better understanding. And then finally, I will print out the upstates and downstates, and then the print states. Okay, submit this answer. Cool. See here, the first 6 elements and then the last 4 elements. Okay, so as I said, if you want to use negative indexing over here, you can use it like -4 to the last one. Okay, so if you know the count, length of the list, you can mention that value here n. Otherwise, if you don't know, you can leave it blank, or even you can pass -1, which is also fine. No, I guess it is missing out, because when we mention -1, that means except that one, right? So this is not the one. So maybe you can mention 0 if you want. No, it is giving error. So let's do it. Continue. Let's see how many are left here. Okay then. Yes. So as I mentioned in the previous exercise, so we can do something like this. So if you're doing from the starting, so we need to mention that 0 over here because it is understood that it is from the starting. And if you don't mention the last second parameter, second value, that means till the end. And if you write something like this, that means it is from the beginning to the end. Okay, so that is what he is asking us to write the code over here. Okay, using the downstates variable, and let's take areas. So from the starting, right, so till this one, and for upsides also similarly is equal to areas of from 6 to end. I think oh no, what is there here? Have you defined downstates? Okay, sorry. Upstates, downstates. Yeah, we did define, right? So down stays it is here. Upstates it is also here. Okay, areas are not defined here, so I don't know how it came double time. Cool. Okay, so this is all about list and slicing the list. And in the next session, we will learn about list manipulations. But before that, we have one more exercise over here. So we will complete this and then take a break. If you see this program course structure, so next we have this list manipulation, so which is a quite different topic. We will take a break and then after that we will come back to this. Before that, let's complete this exercise and then take a break. Subsetting list of the list. Okay, yeah, so when you have list of lists, do the subsetting over here. Okay, so this is what, let's say something like this is your list and you can see over here, right? So when you say something like 2 of 0, which is 2, this one 2, and 0 means this one, so it might print out the z value over here. Okay, so here 2, which is this one, and then starting from 2, that means these two elements. Okay, what will house of minus 1? Okay, so let's check that because we have house already, right? House of minus 1, that means last one of 1. Okay, so let's print out that. So it is printing 9.5 value. Okay, so mm, yeah, this is a floating value of last one, right? Last one is what? Let's go back to that previous one and then see. 1 second. Okay, so this is bathroom bathroom area, which is a floating point. This is the answer here. That's it for now. We'll take a break and discuss about list manipulations.